Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. One last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Righteous Force, Chocolate Sane, Arwin and 10th Man in G+, together with a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Glad to be here.
Good afternoon, Flat Earth
Hello.
Weekend.
Hello Discord.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Or anywhere you might be watching from. Any signs of a physical geometric Earth curve edge?
Most definitely not. Geometric Earth curve edge been killed since 6-1.
Any signs at all of any Earth curvature?
Not from South El Monte.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Boom boom.
Only in a globe reification model.
Any evidence of axial rotation?
Of the Earth-based variety? Not in reality.
Any evidence of the distance to the Sun?
That's a tough one. I'm not too certain that the sun is even a physical object in any specific location to begin with. Not whatever we're all looking at every day, anyway.
What did you used to say, Arwen?
There is no distance to the sun?
Don't keep us hanging. Is that the bit you were looking for from him? If not, I'm moving on.
I think you said it.
Oh, perfect. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No. Pretty sure gravity is an aberration. It's make-believe grafted together from different mathematical and physics-based components to model out a conception of some force taking place everywhere, even though there's no actual physical empirical traces of it. It's just secondary. Yeah, and you can even technically find this back because gravity is an effect. That's what it's originally, the real foundation is classified as, and that makes it not a thing that is literally there. It's more an end result. So yeah, that's gravity. Not real. Not scientific.
What about any viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology or astrophysics?
Absolutely not. I've got a standing invite for Dr. Becky from 2019 all the way through 2020 and refuses to answer that question, even though it's in her field of expertise. So obviously, nothing.
I can't see what this has been. I suppose I could just ask him. Can you hear us, Kiwi?
Yes.
In Master B, there's something. I can see one says Hillbill. I think that's Hillbilly. What's the other one that says Prof something? What's that? Is that some?
Oh, Professor Phil Bell. Knucklehead, man. Yeah.
What is it?
He was hanging around
His,
my chat today.
his description of what the horizon is by definition, it's actually kind of funny.
Oh yeah, play that.
What a horizon. Horizon by definition, a horizon means that everything beyond it goes down.
The only thing going down is people's IQs and coherency listening to your inane horse shit that you just made up. Horizon by definition, Wikipedia. Horizon is the apparent line that separates the earth from the sky. Merriam-Webster, horizon, the line where the earth seems to meet the sky. From Oxford Dictionaries, horizon, the line at which the earth's surface and sky appear to meet. From National Geographic, the local horizon, also called the geometric horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and the sky. By definition, you're a numpty.
Just hear the first part again. I'm just going to play that once more.
What a horizon. Horizon by definition, a horizon means that everything beyond it goes down.
What a numpty.
That's what I thought.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container? Anybody? Anybody at all? Don't be shy. Any claims that prove the sky is a vacuum?
Only in the globe reification model.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Supposedly at the center of a globe reification model.
Any evidence of the R value?
It's the essence of the globe reification model.
The essence of Swan. That concludes the housekeeping.
Black Swan.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, a few more people have been out there trying to either go through their back catalogue of observations, or, as we heard on the panel in the pre-show, people might be going out and gathering up their own newer black swans. It's going to be difficult to get one that contextualises it as nicely as BMLSB69's images, on account of the fact that those oil rigs are just so nicely geographically placed to mark the distances so nicely. So, I think whoever's out there looking for further black swans, that's now the gold standard, really. Being able to say, no, this is definitely how far you are out, or how far you're looking at the point of this marcation point, in this instance, oil platform. And then this further one, it couldn't be better, really. It is genuinely the gold standard, that BLMSB one.
Black they're
Swan has
solidified in
changed the
water.
game.
Go on, Travis.
Yeah, I said, you're absolutely right. They are solidified in water. They're not going anywhere. Stationary. Like the Earth.
I've seen others that are done with boats, and obviously the boats are moving and you can get their line and get a rough idea of where they are, but certainly the ones I've seen, the boats are that much farther out that they're not as big, so it just doesn't look as clear. Whereas you've got those oil rigs at just the right distance where they're nice and clear, it's obvious what they are, and they're definitely marking how far out you are to the horizon. You can see the water lapping upon them. And then you've got one that's further out, and you still haven't got the physical geometric edge interfering with anything. So then you've got the horizon beyond that in the most limited of angle. I mean, it's game over. No geometric edge, no sphere.
Oh. Boats are also quite a lot smaller too. So you're not going to get the detail and the colossal size of it.
Yeah, exactly. But I hope there are others. I mean, even though I say they're not as easy to point out what's going on in the image as the MLSB 69 images, other people have still got the same idea. It's like, well, all you need to do is prove it to yourself. If you're unconvinced, just go out and try and find the geometric edge. Before the Swan argument came into existence, we were demanding that they understood that they're reifying an edge into existence with the sphere model, while simultaneously asking us where our edge on a model they've been given by controlled opposition in the form of the Flat Earth Society, where the edge for that model is. It's like, well, what edge? I haven't claimed an edge. What edge? What are you talking about? Well, the edge for your boat to fall off on your Flat Earth model. It's like, we don't have an edge. What are you talking about? But they do. Very damaging as well. They've got an edge for boats to go over, to block things in the distance, and to curve at altitude as you raise an elevation. And the horizon does none of those things. It's non-physical. Needs to be if you're on a sphere. That's their assertion. That's their religion. But it just isn't, and by their own concession at the moment, it's not a physical edge. It's not a physical position.
Yeah, they even claim that. They claim that boats go over the edge, right? And, the boats falling off the edge of the flat Earth it's merely a straw man. It's not something that, that no flat earther has ever claimed.
Yeah, the only way is down. As soon as you start trying to make an argument against the Black Swan, you're giving up vast amounts of your physical model to do so. It's great.
Earlier in the debates, there were two people especially who were well known for asking that all too familiar idiotic question of, why can't I see the beach from 30 miles away? Do you remember who they were?
Dawn was one of them.
Louis Hackett. And who'd you say the other one was?
The Dawn was one of them. There's a whole bunch of them. I mean, as I say, you've not got to look far to find an example where they're arguing for the physicality of a sphere blocking something in the distance. That's the tenets of their religion, and that's never going to change either. Their backtracking and lies at the moment won't alter what the religion of sphericity to Earth is. So that's why I'm saying, yeah, it's great to see that Bob the Fallacy Guy or Craig, you can easily dig out an example where they're talking about how physical that edge is, or even calling it, in Bob's case, physical edge. Yeah, we know that's the premise that their religion's based on. But yeah, like I say, it's going to take a while for our own side to realise that, so when they say that the horizon's being loomed, that actually means they're relinquishing the physicality of their own model and therefore lose. Wow, that's devastating. But, our side hasn't got that yet. Instead, they go, well, no, it can't be looming because... And then you could give the argument that we give as a defence to that rebuttal, which is to say it doesn't fit in the definition of what looming is. And if you're going to use terrestrial / standard refraction, that's a utilisation of the geometry that's being debunked and you're having to address. So game over at every angle, but most people on our side that are fighting it probably don't realise that you have a conclusion at the end of this. The conclusion being, there's no physicality to the sphere edge that they used to claim the horizon is. It's non-physical by their own admission currently. Well, their own admission being a justification for why the horizon's not in the geometric position doesn't change the fact that it's not geometric anymore. Ergo, Earth's not a sphere. Totally untenable argument to try and claim Earth's a sphere from this point on.
Well, it never really was a tenable argument to begin with. People already figured out. Remember that even though we didn't structure the entire Black Swan argument like we do now, and we understand how the optics works and everything, even back then, all the flat earthers started out like, yeah, that boat's going over the horizon thing. Well, if you just zoom in, oh, look, it didn't go over the horizon. So that was just it was kind of already there that there was something fishy to the boats going over the horizon thing. It was very early on, but now we kind of finalized it, we perfected it, and yeah, now it's absolutely adamant and unovercomable.
I asked you earlier about what the Prof. Phil quote snippet was. What's the hillbilly one then? There's two.
Where are you looking?
In Master B, after Prof. whatever it was, there's then two of different sizes hillbilly audio snippets. Should I just play one?
Oh, Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that. I didn't want anyone to forget, so I put those two in there along with the caption.
Okay.
It is wasn't my distinguished specific honor to present just Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard, aka No Marble Science. Fresh off his world tour of showing how you can have gas pressure without a container by showing up with a pressurized gas in a container. This is tantamount to disproving the existence of dogs broadcasting live from a blue tick coonhound kennel. Now, with his current thesis defense,
it's creating low pressure.
And that's how, listen to me, that's how it overcomes gravity.
Jesus.
It doesn't overcome gravity.
So let me get this straight. That's how it overcomes gravity. It doesn't overcome gravity? Do you reminisce with strangers? You got horseshit for brains, son. Clown.
I just figured out that unovercomable is not a word. I should have said insurmountable.
There's another one.
Hillbilly Blue Balls, the redneck retard, dated December 30th, 2019.
Big Blue, how come we have gas pressure without a container? You hear that question asked. What do you think about it?
Well, gas pressure requires a container. If you're talking about pressurized gas, what you have here is a false equivalence.
So now gas pressure requires a container. Haven't you made a video titled Gas Pressure Without a Container? With two containers, by the way. The can of butane and the pipe. Remember? Also, a false equivalence. To have a false equivalence, you need a comparison or a juxtaposition between two things. You only have gas pressure in a container. Or are you saying that the false equivalence is between the gas pressure and the container? I don't know, man. This is quite troubling, on a second grade coherence level.
Trying to say gas pressure in a container is the same as atmospheric pressure, and they are not.
Oh, really? So atmospheric pressure is different than gas pressure? Isn't the atmosphere made of gases, making it gas pressure? So how can gas pressure be different than gas pressure?
The pressures are similar in nature. They're created by gas molecules bouncing off of surfaces, but the method of generating that pressure is totally different.
So in both instances, gas pressure is created by gas molecules bouncing off surfaces, but the method of generating the gas pressure is totally different. Did you know that a synonym for generate is create? So, essentially you said gas pressure is created by gas molecules bouncing off surfaces, but the method of creating the gas pressure is totally different. Can I ask you something? Do you make synthetic fur balls for ceramic cats?
The atmosphere depends strictly on gravity. Gravity is the container in that case, if you want to think of it that way. But it's not even really that.
Whoa there. So gravity is your container now? But it's not even really that? Does that make any sense to you? How about gravity as a container? Right? Let's look up container in Cambridge Dictionary. A hollow object such as a box or a bottle that can be used for holding something, especially to carry it or store it. So that denotes physicality to me. So, the thing that's really not that, can you provide chemical structure, formula, charge, mass, momentum, or spin for gravity to give it physicality. That's not even really that.
It's simply the acceleration of gravity pulling down on a mass of the gas, just like it pulls down, just like it accelerates everything else toward the Earth. That's all. That's all you need.
So it's the acceleration of a non-physical container that's not really that, pulling down on a mass of a gas towards the Earth?
Shit, hold on.
Oh gosh,
Very good.
that's great.
Laughing really is contagious, man.
Science.
Yeah, just a public service announcement. Don't sleep with your cousins.
Message.
It just ends badly.
Any ballers in Discord or anywhere?
Yeah, Discord is full. I was going to say there's 2 ballers in here.
Hey, ballers. How are you?
They've been black swanned. They won't come on, will they?
Who are the ballers?
Boz Krish and The Truth. Come off mute.
I think The Truth is a flat earther.
Baz Krish,
He's got a
can you hear
globe
us?
tag, but he has the... Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Baz Krish, can you hear us?
I think I remember him turning tail and running on a Ballbusters episode.
Baz Krish, can you hear us?
Oh,
Kick him out.
You say
Got a
the
full
word.
house and they're just sitting here not saying anything to us. What's the point of him being here exactly? Why is he filling up the space?
Yeah.
Filling up
I've
the space
already...
unnecessary.
He actually came in fresh. He's pretty fresh. I've already moved out 4 Glovers that haven't been talking.
Shout out to Light Energy. Funny, Epstein slept with 2 of his cousins. Is that so? Anyway, sex life of hillbillies can be discussed on a different show.
that's a different show.
Well, not my show, that's for sure.
You got me thinking about the redneck jokes with that line. You familiar with that?
Nope. Just
No?
thinking about Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel.
You know you're a baller, but your home that is immobile and 5 cars that aren't.
Okay.
You know you're a baller when your boat has not left the driveway in 15 years. Those are hillbilly jokes.
I see. not a common occurrence around here. People with a trailer and a boat. That doesn't make much sense to me, but there we go.
Okay, you know you're a baller if you've ever given rat traps as a gift.
Okay.
You triggered me on that one.
Okay, so apparently I got a PM from the Truth. Apparently he says he's denounced the ball, but he likes his baller tag, his Glober tag. So whatever the heck that means.
Can you explain what that means, the Truth? That kind of makes no sense.
Oh, and he said he has no mic.
Kick him out.
So
why are you in a voice channel?
Negative. Truth, he's all right. I've talked to him before. Give him a pass.
Sure. But, there's a limited amount of space and he's got no mic. So he's literally useless to this conversation.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant kick him out of the server.
No. Not kick him out of the server. Just kick him to the after show. If he wants to if he's in it just to listen, just go to YouTube. But, watch it on, it's live right now. But if it's got no empty gaps for someone to join and actually challenge something. I think there's a couple of empty gaps now.
I think you have a wide audience that really loves to be able to listen to the pre-show, the live show, and the after show, and I think that's why they try to come in here. I don't know if there's a way to also stream to the Ballbusters listen in. There was a Ballbusters listen in channel, I thought. Am I wrong in that?
We're live right now. People can just go to the second channel and watch it. Hear everything that's being said.
Oh, this is the second show, right?
Yeah, we're literally live. I don't know if maybe when I introduced the live show and talked about us being live and telling people to smash the super chat, did that go over on everyone's head? Are you just so used to hearing it that it doesn't compute?
No, I just thought that the second show on Fridays was.
No, I was going to say, Nathan, I think you're underestimating the effects that the Black Swan and Modus Tollens has had. Ever since QE brought that up and you featured it, look what's happened to the lack of consistency of ballers coming on the show. It is such a devastating argument. You just dealt them a blow, uppercut, whatever. They're done.
Well, they sent in their, highest rank warrior. Did you see Rumpus throwing all of his own side under the bus, by the way? That was quite funny. None of them understand this.
That was great.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Now this is just death throes. It's over. It's a wrap. You guys don't understand the argument. Everyone else does. It's over. I'm sorry. Your ball's dead. You can't get out of it.
It's Paul. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, it's Paul.
Yes, this is Paul. It's Paul! What's going on, everybody?
Hey, Paul. Good to have you.
It's weird, because obviously on this show, when the most devastating blows get dealt, we end up with this situation, which is it's actually quite quiet, nice and calm and tranquil. Obviously, initially you have the, head honcho Rumpus coming in and attempting to resolve the problem, only ending up double speaking his way around a physical, non-physical, geometric, non-geometric horizon.
Don't forget, he called his leader and he says, no, you can't use looming anymore.
Never been wrong, but then he called up Andrew Thomas Young, who said he was wrong.
I think I've noticed a lot on the Discord is a lot of them are just trying to lump. They just have to say refraction. That's all they can do. Any kind of distortion. Oh, it's refraction, so that's what's causing it. They don't even want to go into the specifics. They can't. They won't. All they have is looming, which shoots them in the foot too.
As I say, Andrew Thomas Young's taken that away. No more use of looming. You want to add something, Rams?
That's kind
Yeah, I
of
keep
kind
hearing
of
them
suck
talk
when
about looming and refraction, and they're just redefining it.
that must kind of suck when the only argument that you've decided to use is literally told by your side that you can't use it, and you've been applying it wrong. That's pretty devastating, I think.
Maybe they've all descended on the chat. Let's see what's going on in the chat at the moment.
We got another baller in Discord by the name of Trade. Come off mute, Trade. You have anything to say for yourself?
Don't be shy, Trade. We're all in a really good mood today. How's it going? Share your pain.
I have noticed the ballers, once we start using their definitions, they start changing their definitions. Have you guys noticed that?
What, you mean making them up as they go along?
Yeah, pretty much. They change it according to their whatever need they want. They change it. I think Xan.
Well, I mean, that's been evidenced even on this show. Didn't some professor say that the definition of the horizon is anything that's beyond it goes down? I've never heard that definition of horizon before. Has anybody
The
else?
only thing going
Well, it reminds me of my optical slant theory.
down.
We didn't hear you, QE.
No, it's me
I'm
trying to
not
find
talking. Somebody's playing that.
Yeah, it's me trying to find the clip, but it won't let me rewind it in Skype, so oh well.
Yeah, I've heard much worse. Well, I don't want to say worse than Professor Phil, but I've heard other ballers describe the horizon somewhat correctly. That definition by Mr. So-called professor doesn't sound remotely right.
Well, does he mean the physical thing drops, or does he kind of leave that out? Because it really does remind me of my optical slant descriptive concept. Because yeah, after the horizon, it appears like it's going down. That's how you interpret it, but it is actually diffraction going on, and the concealment effect and all that.
Yeah, but he's already got the presupposition in his own made-up definition.
Right.
Everything past the horizon goes down. Goes down what? The horizon is an apparent position where the sky meets the ground. What the hell is he talking about?
Shout out to Unicorn Laser Eyes, who says, "All hail Black Swan." Thank you very much for the super chat.
Black Swan.
Yeah. Now, geometrically, physically, literally, no. That's definitely wrong what he said. From that.
Geometrically and physically, which are the things that they need the horizon to be on a ball. So yeah, that's problematic.
I guess they're used to the liberty of just being able to mix these two up and people not noticing, not realizing that the horizon is just an apparent effect, an apparent arbitrary position based on optics, and that the geometrical horizon is not the same thing. It's that it is conceptual, and it kind of went past everyone. So when somebody just says horizon, didn't matter in which context, they would just mix it up in their minds. They wouldn't see it. And now we see it.
I think there's a fallacy where you change the definition in your context or whatever in your sentence to make your argument. I forget what the name of that is. Do you know what the name of that is? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Where you use the same word but you change the meaning in the context or something.
Equivocation.
Yeah. And if you can get away with an equivocation, yeah, then a whole world of possibilities opens up. Outer space. it can all slip past because in the minds of the people that misunderstood it, they didn't see it. It connects. But yeah, that situation is now in the past because now is the internet age. Now is the flat Earth debates. There's the flat Earth. We're out here. We're talking. We're figuring things out, and this equivocation is not gonna slip by so easily anymore. Doesn't work. Not gonna work anymore.
One kind of an awesome example of that. So yesterday I was at work and I showed talking to a bunch of guys at my job and talking about the second law of thermodynamics violation called space. And I told the guy, one of the guys, that they in your narrative they put a car up there, right? He didn't believe me. He's like, nah, they didn't put a car in space. There's not a car in space. I'm like, yeah, there is, according to your bullshit narrative. So he's really reluctant to believe me at all, to listen to me, because he's heard me talk about flat Earth before. So I pull it up for him. I show him the official picture of the car in space. He looks at me. He's like, yeah. Well, the car in space is only one, right?
No. Hold on. There's the moon buggy. Remember?
The one they sent, the car, not the dune buggy. I didn't say the dune buggy. I always call it the dune buggy. Right? I'm talking about the car, the Tesla. So they put it in space, whatever. So I show him the picture. He gets mad at me because he's like, no, I don't believe that that's reality. And I'm like, look it up. Do your research. So he comes in today, right? Yeah, I just see him right now, right? And he's like, bro, I'm going to do a podcast on this because this is beyond ridiculous. I want to punch people in the mouth right now that you're telling me this is real. And this supposedly was a big thing that they put this car in space. You could tell in 2 seconds it's bullshit. I was like, well, now you see why I get so passionate when I talk about things that I talk about with you guys. Because it's bullshit and they got people running around thinking this is their reality. So
Come on, chocolate. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Come on, chocolate.
that's the part that even pissed him off more, because I told him that's the direct line that was said after they put it up there, and he's like, he just looked at me. I can't even describe the face that he gave me. He just looked at me. It was just like, nah. I got to get to the bottom of this. I was like, okay, well, maybe this is your one thing that you need to get to try to understand what I've been trying to tell you guys all this time. This is bullshit that we're surrounded by that you guys don't have any clue about. So he's going to get into that. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a joke, right? When you look at the the picture of the Tesla in space, it's like, come on. Two guys that absolutely believe in the globe narrative. When I showed them that picture yesterday, they were both like, nah, that's absolute bullshit. I said, okay, well,
That looked pretty cool. You know?
Black Swan.
Notice
your narrative.
You notice he didn't give any
Even
such
without
he didn't give any such
You gotta
justification.
show me
He didn't give any such justification for the Tesla truck. So the Tesla truck, which is crazy outlandish design, looks like a concept car, and they're claiming is going to go into production, but he wasn't justifying how fake it wasn't. Even though it looks really weird and fake and strange, he wasn't giving any such justification, because obviously there's a physical Tesla truck that they can throw stuff at. So there's no need to justify how real it doesn't look.
Yeah, you got a good point there. But maybe he said it to kind of trigger conspiracy extra. I don't understand.
Yeah, but there were two lines though.
The thing is that he does, it's so weird. The whole Elon Musk and that whole company, its situation financially, its product failure. It's so odd to me, all of it. That's just going on.
Didn't he just appear on the scene out of nowhere rather than a gradual growth of a billionaire that we could track somehow?
He started PayPal.
He did?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well,
was the
that's if you
co-creator of
believe Mark
PayPal.
Zuckerberg started Facebook too, I guess.
It's a generational thing. He's the current Richard Branson. You know, he's just the entrepreneur, rich guy that's going to space because it's not just the space agencies. Look, Richard Branson's doing it. Who? Richard Branson? Some people might say in the audience. Who's Richard Branson again?
Yeah, who is that?
that guy that was going to space about 10 years ago. Now it's Elon Musk. Next 10 years, there'll be another super rich entrepreneur that's claiming to go to space, unless it all dies on its ass because of the Black Swan.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Richard Branson's the Virgin Galactic guy that was going to put, people.
Oh, yeah.
That
I remember
guy,
Virgin Galactic. Oh, yeah.
That's who we're talking.
A
That's
lot of
Richard
people
Branson.
were very emotionally invested in that. Yeah.
That was quite a failure.
How many people are emotionally invested on the globe?
Shout out to Unicorn Laser Eyes who says, "Ballers, come out and bow before the Black Swan." Thank you very much for the super chat.
Branson was like, that was like 20 years ago, dude. I remember Virgin Galactic coming out of stories of going to space and space tour. That was when I was like a kid, dude. I'm almost 30 now. That was 20 years ago. So if it wasn't possible 20 years ago, okay, at like the height of all this like space technology and stuff, it's not possible now, you know?
Yeah.
And what Richard Branson showed
unfortunate,
was nothing new. So he did it for real, flying out stuff and doing these piggyback like planes that dropped off at very high speeds. That was all done in the 50s, long before Richard Branson. So it's nothing new that he was showing. Shout out to Rob Kiln, who says, "Black Swan." Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, they just recycle old stories. That's all they ever do.
Yeah, but didn't his story have the little twist of, oh, we're going to put, regular people will be able to buy a ticket and go high enough in this plane of ours to supposedly be able to be in space? Wasn't that the little twist on the Richard Branson thing?
Yeah, Virgin Galactic.
Right. Did they offer that to people earlier than that? As like a realistic thing?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
It's only a short period though. Between moon landings and Richard Branson, it's not exactly of a massive amount of space between the two of them. And, he's doing it in a time when the ISS is in existence as opposed to Skylab or Mir or whatever the other piece of crap that they had up there, I forget the name of. Happy Friday to all. This goes out on Saturday to those on Nathan Oakley. Might even be Sunday. Yeah. Thank you very much for the super chat, Adrian Quintana. Also one of my Patreons.
Is there anybody on the panel been to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum? Anybody on there been there?
Yes.
Before?
Yes.
Did you see the mock-up of the space lab when you were there? Ain't that a joke? Looking back over the. I thought that was hilarious when I went there a few years ago.
Space? You mean the vacuum of space?
You know what I mean, QE. I don't believe in the vacuum of space.
It's the mock-up of what?
I think the space lab was no bigger than the command module with the thruster on it. I think no much bigger than that, I think, wasn't it? If I remember right, supposedly.
You're saying the space lab? Or
Skylab.
The lander? I didn't hear. Oh, the Skylab.
He's talking about Skylab. Just another justification for the light that we see in the sky that's currently called the ISS. Anyway, shout out to Flat Earth Data. He says, the truth about the apparent edge, it's optical. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Skylab or Space Lab, whatever it was the precursor to ISS.
Oh, so then what happened to that? Did that fall out of the sky? Did they scrap that and say, we'll just build the ISS, to replace it?
Wasn't it Skylab, then Mir, then ISS?
I think so, to be honest.
Because I vaguely remember before ISS, you had the movie Contact, and the guy who's funding the machine to put Jodie Foster in is dying of cancer, so he goes up to Mir to fight cancer. So they have a bit of space propaganda in it, with him floating around in quote-unquote space.
Yeah, I remember that. Did you see that lady astronaut touchdown in Russia in that obsolete-looking spacecraft that it shows it in the CGI space, and the next thing you see is parachute, and it's coming down. You don't see anything else in between. And when you see it, it looks like the tip of a bullet. It's so weird. It's just got kicked out of a plane with a chute. That's what happened there.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Nathan, do you want everyone in the after show? Sorry, I wasn't paying any attention.
Nah, we're live. Just keep it calm for now.
Okay.
Woohoo!
10 minutes.
4 more hours.
No, 10 more minutes of live.
Aw.
And then 4 more hours of after show. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Hey, it's Friday. So
I don't know. It's hard now with the 4-hour shows because there are no ballers defending their horizon anymore. So
Yeah.
I know.
Tumbleweed.
QE's got plenty of toe tags.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay.
We are arriving in kind of a desert scenario where now what we see around us is just a lot of tumbleweeds. There's not a lot of ballers trying anything at this point. They're all just kind of sweating and puzzling around, figuring out how many things aren't working anymore and trying to
Talking
figure out some kind of new angle.
Talking about cooking black swans, right? Meanwhile, just a little while ago, it is the physical edge. Yeah, you're right, Nathan. Yeah, you're right when you make that statement. Oh, fast forward to 2020. Nah, it's not physical. It's apparent. Oh man, come on, ballers. Y'all must hate me. I'm talking shit about y'all. Just come on, share your pain. Okay. Tell us more how the horizon is physical.
Zanuck. Hey, Zanuck.
I was going to ask QE something. QE, didn't Robert Bassano do something about the Hubble 2 back in the day?
Yeah, it's one of his best videos.
Yeah, I started when I saw the Hubble at Air and Space 2. I thought there's no thrusters on that thing to keep it in orbit. And they say they only use gyroscopes to do that. Do you remember that? Did he go into that at all? I thought that was interesting. How do you keep something in orbit, supposedly orbit? You know what I mean?
He had a lot of points. I think it was one of the high up managers that admitted a lot of questionable things. I was kind of, I think everyone was shocked after that video came out. Could be mistaken, but
Didn't the guy admit to something like it's really just the camera playing the Sophia, not really Hubble in space?
Hubble is just Sophia.
Yeah, right.
Hubble is Sophia.
Yes.
If Hubble was real, it would have crashed. That was the thing that he exposed to me. The most eye-opening thing was when he went through the maths with him, and by their own calculations, it would have crashed. So Sophia is just what they call Hubble.
Right.
What about that picture of Hubble in space? They showed that picture times. But can't be the plane. Did they maybe secretly at some point just carry that telescope mid-air and then, I don't know, send it onto an extra rocket or space shuttle into space and then...
No, they launched it with the shuttle, right? At what they claimed at the time was the highest they'd ever taken the shuttle. And then this precision-engineered multi-billion-dollar piece of shit was claimed that it was out of focus. Yeah, so then they claimed that they had to send another team to the highest altitude they'd ever gone with the shuttle to put a pair of spectacles on it. I'm not even fucking joking.
What?
I remember that.
They had to put spectacles on Hubble according to the bullshit narrative. You could play some Armageddon-style music on it with the drama that they spun into that bullshit little narrative of having to correct the imperfection of this perfectly manufactured mirror.
I wonder if the astronauts saw stars. Remember, that's what they said. They saw stars when they got up in the Van Allen radiation belt. So they must have saw a lot of stars when they were repairing the Hubble.
If you remember, Robert showed a video with them working on the STS mission. I forget which one it was, 125. I don't ask me. That wasn't logged officially. And you could see them working. It even shocked Robert. He was just had a video running while he was talking. He goes, wait a minute. Did you see that? Because while he was working on the Hubble, the Earth stopped moving. We played it on this show, right? And he's working on it, and then he leaves it go, and then the Earth starts moving again.
Hang on, Hugh. That was the day
That's
they were
funny.
filming the day the Earth stood still. Remember that movie?
Yeah, that's what he's describing, exactly that. So basically just a CGI fuck up. Someone's forgotten to turn the Earth on. Oh, shit. There we go. Now it's moving. Excellent. No one will notice.
Oh, wait a minute. Wouldn't that violate the law of was it conservation of momentum? So we got Zanuck on here. How did the Earth stop moving? How did that happen?
Zanuck's not on here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. It's that entropy is dq/t. That's Zanuck.
Yeah, I
He's
know who
named
he
himself
is, but
Entropy.
he's not really on here, Mr. Entropist. Where's
He's
my
been kicked
2
off
Gs?
so many shows. Got to change his name.
Now he needs to stop violating himself in his models.
Added it on at the end.
Do I have time to make breakfast?
Shout out to Chocolate Swan in the chat. Who's not me?
So I had Zanuck arguing about a tangent line that he'd drawn to something that he was going to bend with 7/6R, and talking about the angles of the light that's travelling through the atmosphere. And the dude he's arguing with goes, so what about the Rayleigh criterion? And then Zanuck has to sort of backtrack and start saying, no, we're not talking about those sorts of angles. So I pointed out on the show the following day that, yeah, they're geometric maths and its physicality and actual sizes for things that it's looking at in the distance doesn't account for angular size of anything. It's not dealing with, what's that word that they seem to abuse so much at the moment? Oh yeah, apparent. Everything's apparent suddenly, according to all these fundies on the globe side. And yet, does their geometric maths account for the apparent nature of things? Maybe an apparent size or two? Nope. But what's with the actual sizes in the globe maths, if everything's suddenly apparent? Maybe that's something you can address with the fundies who make these globe calculators. Everything's apparent, according to you fundies now. Maybe you should start using apparent sizes in the Earth curve hijacking of perspective. My bad, that would put perspective back in rather than just stealing it and calling it Earth curve, right guys?
You're busted.
So that's a standard challenge to all fundies at the moment who are going on and on and on about the comparison between geometric and, incorrectly, apparent. You show me some apparent sizes in your geometric calculation, please. And that's what I'm going to charge you all with. Let's start dealing with the apparent nature then, rather than your assumptions you used to have in our assuming physical geometric sphere Earth beneath our feet. and now everything's apparent, except for the sizes in your calculation and the calculation itself, which is physical and geometric. Sphere's dead, globeheads. Don't know if Zanuck knows it. He's being very quiet about this whole apparent nature he was arguing for until someone asked him about the Rayleigh criterion. Very much excluded. My bad. Hijacked in this Earth geometry. Side on with your own head in view.
Here, this might coax him out. He was telling me that an apparent position can loom above apparent position. Tell me how that works, Zanuck. You two were telling me that the other day.
Yeah, and then explain why, if we're all dealing with apparent things suddenly, why have we got actual sizes in this geometric calculation then? Maybe that could be squared, that little circle that won't be squared.
I think he still owes QE 2 G's.
Don't be scared, Zanuck. You've been talking about how the apparent horizon's looming above the geometric horizon, and we want to know how this is all calculated with apparent sizes. My bad. It's geometric and physical, isn't it? How is this apparent nature taken into account by a physical geometric calculator? Can you explain that to us? The death of your globe. Explain the death of your globe to me, Zanuck. Now.
I think Zanuck only talks these days after the show is over.
Actually, the globe can't get any defenders anymore.
Hey, but when the show is no longer running, that in Discord, yeah, it never stops talking. I talked about this on the Early Bird show today.
Well,
yeah, it's a fun to drop by because they're constantly talking day and night.
It's allergic to Black Swan, I hear.
Well, they might get that opportunity.
Reference frame.
Because I'm going to round out the live show. So with that, I'll say if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. I'd say stay tuned if you're watching on the 1980 premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!